Bobby Samra. So I've come today. I bought my black Triumph Stag. It's a 1973 Triumph Stag. It's all original, apart from the wheels. It's still got the original Triumph V8 engine in there. The only really modifications it's had on there is really just got the tubular manifolds on there with an upgraded exhaust system. But other than that, it's kind of like she's pretty much all original. It was something that was always kind of like on my bucket list. I've had a few classic cars, and I've got another classic car at home. But the Stag was always on the bucket list, and it was something that I always wanted. So originally, when I turned 40 years, I wanted to buy one. Never got around to it. So this was kind of like a 50th birthday present for me. So the other classic car I've got an orange Ford Capri. It's a 3-litre Sport, and Capris are great. I've had sort of a number of them over the years. But yeah, the Stag was always something that I wanted, and I've owned this now about a year. And yeah, she's a good car. One thing I would say about it is they seem to be a little bit more hands-on. You've got to be ready to sort of like fix things. The number of times I sort of just jumped in the car and something might go wrong. So I've been a little bit sort of like more hands-on with this than the Capri. There's not one that I prefer over the other. They're both individual. If the weather isn't great, I got the Capri. It's a hardtop. If it's a sunny day, I've got the Stag. So. But yeah, I wouldn't sell either of them. Yeah.
My name's Kinder Hansbal. I own a Porsche 911. It's a Targa, 1984. Bought it about 19 years ago. My dad bought it as a car for my brother and I. As kids, always wanted to have a 911, and the rest is history. Had it since then. Oddly enough, I'd just come back from working in the States. I flew in on a Saturday morning. And my brother and dad had seen this car, so we went across to Mill Hill where we bought it from. We walked into the showroom, and there were quite a few Porsches there, but this is the one that caught our eye, and it was like, that's it, that's the car we want. We have done a lot of work to it. Just recently, my dad's helped rebuild the engine. We wanted to change the clutch, but as we dropped the engine, we kind of redid the whole engine. So that's been done recently. I've had a bit of work done on I had to replace 2 wings. I used to live in Southall, moved out, and when my house didn't have a garage, so one winter it stood out, did a lot of damage to it. But since then, we've done a lot of work, just tidy it up a bit. Most of it's original. It's great. I tell you, you drive in it, you're glued to the road, and it's such fun to drive. Unfortunately, don't drive it that much. So one of the challenges of having a classic car is it's in the garage a lot of the time, so you've got another car to drive around with. But when we take it out, it's so much fun. People come around and go thumbs up, and you go and park in car supermarkets. People come and talk to you about the car, and you want to go in and buy your groceries, right? So yeah, it's great. It gives you a bit of a kick. Believe it or not, it's the first time I've come to a classic car show. My cousin, who's here with me, asked me to come along. I wanted to come for the experience, but as I said, it's the first time I've been to one. I'd definitely come again. I've met so many old friends I haven't seen for ages, but then seeing the variety of other cars and similar cars, people with same sort of passions, it's great. I'd come again.
My name is Satish. I own this car for nearly over 20 years. Morris Minor 1068 model, and fully restored, completely restored. From top to bottom, everything done on it. It needed quite a bit of restoration. Everything was rotten, so we had to strip it completely, bare metal, and then do it up all from bottom to top, completely everything new, fitted, engine, everything was done completely, interior, completely refurbished. Parts, it was difficult at the time because 20 years ago, now we can get the parts, but they're not original parts. It's difficult to find original parts on them. Sometimes it's you have to look around. But now you can find all the parts, but they are replica parts. But this, we tried to do it original as possible. You see, all the parts on this car is original, like nothing been modified, or just a few small bits and pieces for safety reasons. Alternators, for the indicators, wipers, that's all modification we done on it. It's very good. Yeah, really smooth drive, and good on fuel. Everything is really nice on this. No, I used to love cars from Kenya. I'm from Kenya, and I've been into cars since I was young, and still now going on. Still restoring a few new ones still in progress, like you see. So some of them are in progress, just finishing them off. Might be next year we'll bring a few more.
Okay, Sanjay Kavya, it's a 1962 Beetle. I've only got it recently actually, the beginning of this year. First ever car was a Beetle. So when I was growing up, my dad's always had Volkswagens, Type 1s, Type 2s. My first car was 1970. Now I've got kids of my own, I thought I'd give them a chance to experience what it's like to own a classic car. I've changed the wheels, the bumpers, the wing mirrors, put in some Porsche seats, put some sounds in there as well. Expanded the rear wheels, lowered it slightly, but apart from that, it's yeah, pretty much standard. May look to air ride it, and yeah, put some more power in it. It's not really quick at the moment, but to be honest, yeah, they're not designed to go quick. So yeah, otherwise just enjoy it with the children really. I've got two boys who are petrol heads as well, so hopefully they can take it on after I've left it in their good hands.
My name is Anwar Saber. I've had a passion for Datsuns. It's a childhood passion. This is one of the oldest ones that I've owned. I've had this one for about 20 years. And from there I've just moved on non-stop and I'm still collecting them. I come from Kenya, and basically we had the safari rally in Kenya, which left a big impression on most of us as youngsters. It was the thing to do in the Easter holidays, and in the rally the Datsuns were always the cheaper but the best and the most reliable, and they really achieved a legendary status. I have got all my new collection is actually from South Africa, most of them. There's the 510s, which are very unique to the UK, not many left here, so I brought a number of 510s recently. It's like I thought to myself, you live only once, have to fulfill my dreams, and that's what it's all about. Well, luckily Datsuns do not ask for a lot of maintenance. When it comes to parts, a lot of parts are interchangeable between Datsuns, like engine, suspension parts, brake parts. They're very interchangeable, so you can get parts from one model to another model very easily. Body parts are getting more and more scarce as time is going. Unfortunately, during the lockdown, a lot of people are working on their classic cars, so parts have become very, very hard to obtain. Everybody's grabbed all the parts that are available freely, so it gets difficult, but thank goodness we never really get stuck for parts. I have built a small collection over the years, so I'm okay. I think I'll be all right for a while. I always promise myself that I will not buy anymore, simply because of the space, and yes, it's an expensive hobby now. With what can you say, the investment in the cars. So I'll probably be selling some of my cars off and raise the money to buy the more unique models, which I've always wanted to own. If my wife was here, she'd probably tell you the real truth, but let me just say, my family absolutely support me. My children do.
So I'm Kawaljeet Singh. I own the E28 M5 number 172.
I'm Just, and I own the E28 M5. What is it, number 36?
Yeah, my age. The main reason that we brought this particular white M5 was because we didn't want to modify the black one. So rather than doing that, picked this one up and in essence kind of just went through it and just wanted to put my own stamp on there, and I wanted to stick with one particular B&W tuner, and I decided to go for Hartger with this. So the Hartger wheels, the suspension, the exhaust, the clocks and the gear knob. But my OCD kind of cuts in, so I thought, well, I don't want a mismatch of things. So yeah, just, you know, this is the probably the second M5 we've had, but this is the one that I really wanted to kind of, you know, modify and be able to make it my own. Trying to get any parts for these, and the genuine parts is kind of proving difficult, but you know, with the contacts we've kind of managed. An old Gora actually found me and messaged me and said, look, I've got this load of Hartger bits, are you interested? And I kind of thought, yeah. So I was up there like a rat up a drainage pipe. Oh, we took a van up, got all the stuff, and then the rest we just kind of, you know, fitted on. So yeah, it's hard to find, but that's what really makes you stand out when you can get these genuine rare parts. These cars never finish.
Ending, isn't
never
it?
ending.
So we've still got some bits to do around the cosmetics, I'd say.
Yeah.
Around the engine. We've got some wiring and stuff to finish off around the stereo.
Yeah.
He's not got enough B-line, he wants more.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He wants the neighbours to know when he comes by. So yeah, we've got a bit more work on that, but more cosmetic. Yeah, otherwise it's kind of looking alright. We means anything that he does, I get involved in. Anything that I do, he gets involved in.
Yeah.
These cars on your own, they're a lot really difficult. Sometimes you're working on something and you just give up because you've got a patience threshold. But then if there's two of you, when one gives up, the other one helps out. And just some other stuff like, which you just need two people to work on. It's not straightforward working on them on your own. Finding parts is the one that takes so long. So he'll call me up, says I'm looking for this. I'll be on eBay looking for it. Or if I say I need something, he'll look in his stock to see what he's got.
That's not going to,
It halves time. Putting the bits on the car doesn't take as long as finding the bits.
Parts,
That's a challenge.
I think it's a bit of an ongoing joke. He'll say, have you got this part? I'm like, yeah, I have. It's in my loft. And he's like, B&W might have phoned you up for classic cars because I've done so many of these. I've got a stash. I don't even know some of the stuff I've got.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the stuff is NLA now. Yeah. It's no longer made by BM. So with the 5s, you've got body panels you can get, but the engines on these cars, obviously, they're really difficult to get bits for. Apart from the E28, you've got the E24 M6, which shares the same engine. So again, they're really hard to find. But it does help having two of you on it.
Two pugs are better than one.
Yeah.
My name is Datsun, and this is my dad's 1973 Datsun 240Z, and he's owned it for about 30 odd years now. It always used to be parked in the garage, so it was off the road for about 20 years, so the tax disc still shows 2001 on it, so I just have memories of it sitting in the garage, covered in dust for God knows how long. I was kind of always pestering him to get the car on the road, and then a couple of years ago I managed to say, let's pull this out, let's give it a light restoration, and that's kind of what we've done. So since it's been out the garage, it's had all the underneath stripped back, painted, all the suspension powder coated, bolt zinc plated. The engine's been given like an external detail, so it's not been rebuilt, it's still as it was from 25 years ago. It's got triple carburetors, it's now got a Fujitsu exhaust system, and then it's got these Japanese made 3-piece split wheels. And then we've just given it a bit of a polish up. The body kit and the paint was as it was fitted in the late 80s, so it's held up reasonably well, but at some point it will need a going over. It's just so immersive. The sound of the triple carburetors up front, then you've got that kind of straight through twin exhaust system out the back. It's just like nothing else that I've been in. I'm pretty sure we've had people nearly cause accidents leaning out the cars, changing lanes, taking pictures. Everywhere you go, there's somebody asking about it or taking a photo of it. It's just absolutely brilliant. So it's always been Datsuns for us. A lot of my family grew up in East Africa, so I think when they came to the country, it's always been, Datsuns have been a part of home. It's that small, kind of thing that they can hold on to. So basically, since I was a little kid, that's what I've been brought up around. So yeah, currently they're all Datsuns or some of the newer Nissans, that's it.
My name's Deepak, it's Mark 1 Mexico. I've had it nearly 12 years. Well, I had 3 of them Escorts, Mark 1 Escorts when I was 17. It's my first cars, and I fell in love with them since then. So then after that I had a few other cars, but then in 2005 I started looking again for a car, for Mark 1. So I really wanted one again. So it took me about 4 or 5 years, and eventually I found this one in 2010. And I went all the way to Dover to look at it. I looked at it, I had done a deal with the guy, put a deposit on it. A week later, went to pick it up, drove it all the way back from Dover. Well, the person who had it before, they had changed the decals. These decals, they had the RS 2000 decals, but it's originally in Mexico. And that's the only thing they had on it. But then I modified the engine. I put a limited slip diff on there. I've done the CBs. I've done engine. I put twin 40 big carburetors on there. I've done a pre-engaged starter motor, a 45 amp alternator, a manifold, and interior. I've done the interior all again. It's a fully refurbed interior. It's the sound of the engine, and in the car, it's just the buzz of it. Yeah, and the smell of the old school car.